Welcome back to our channel Echoes of Reality, where we bring you the most unbelievable, emotional and shocking real-life inspired stories that will keep you hooked till the very end. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do so because today's story is one you will never forget. It was a quiet summer evening in a small town outside Texas. The streets were calm, a light breeze rustling the flags hanging from porches. A man named Marcus Williams walked steadily down the sidewalk. He wasn't just any man. Marcus was a decorated veteran who had served 2 tours overseas. His tall frame and calm demeanor reflected the discipline of a soldier, but his eyes carried the weight of memories most people could never imagine. Beside him walked his loyal companion, a German shepherd named Duke. To most, Duke looked like a regular dog, muscular and alert, always by Marcus's side. But those who knew the truth understood that Duke was more than just a pet. Duke had served in the military too. He had sniffed out explosives, saved soldiers' lives, and endured the chaos of war alongside Marcus. Together, man and dog had faced danger that most people only saw in movies. Now, back in civilian life, Marcus and Duke enjoyed simple things: a walk down the street, a stop at the local store, or a peaceful sit at the park. But on this evening, peace was about to be shattered. The low growl of motorcycles echoed down the road. A group of 6 bikers turned the corner, their leather jackets patched with emblems, their engines roaring. They weren't the friendly weekend riders that waved at families on highways. These were the kind who looked for trouble, and tonight, their eyes locked on Marcus. The lead biker, a heavy-set man with tattoos snaking up his arms, revved his engine loudly as they slowed near Marcus. He sneered, leaning toward his friends. "Look at this guy. Thinks he owns the street." Another biker laughed cruelly. "Yeah, let's see how tough he really is." The motorcycles circled closer, engines growling like predators surrounding prey. Marcus stopped walking. He wasn't afraid, but he knew trouble when he saw it. He glanced at Duke, who stood firm, ears perked, muscles tense. The lead biker cut his engine, glaring at Marcus. "Hey boy," he spat the word with venom. "What are you doing in our part of town?" Marcus's jaw tightened, but his voice remained calm. "Just taking a walk. That a problem?" The biker smirked, his friends chuckling behind him. "Yeah, it's a problem. You don't belong here. People like you don't belong here." The words stung, not because Marcus hadn't heard them before, but because of the hatred laced in them. Duke growled softly, sensing the tension. Marcus kept his composure. "I serve this country. I've earned the right to walk anywhere I please." The biker stepped off his motorcycle, standing nose to nose with Marcus. "Serve this country? Don't make me laugh. You think anyone cares about that?" He shoved Marcus's shoulder. "You're nothing out here." The crowd that had started to gather gasped. Some pulled out their phones, recording the scene. Marcus didn't move. He had learned long ago that patience could be stronger than fists. But the bikers weren't looking for patience. One of them pointed at Duke. "And what's this? You need a mutt to protect you." Marcus's eyes flashed. "This mutt has saved more lives than you'll ever know. Show some respect." But respect was the last thing on their minds. Another biker kicked dirt toward Duke, laughing. The German shepherd barked fiercely, stepping in front of Marcus, teeth bared. The lead biker raised his hand as if to strike. "Shut that dog up before I—" He never finished the sentence. In a flash, Duke lunged forward, not to attack, but to stand directly between Marcus and the biker, his body tense, his growl low and dangerous. The bikers froze. For the first time, they realized this wasn't just any dog. Marcus's voice cut through the noise, firm and commanding, the way only a soldier could speak. "Duke, stand down." Instantly, the dog obeyed, sitting but still alert, his eyes locked on the men. The discipline, the control. It was clear Duke was trained far beyond any ordinary pet. The crowd murmured, some recognizing the signs. "That's a military dog," one whispered. "That's no regular German shepherd." The lead biker's bravado faltered, but pride wouldn't let him back down. "So what? It's still just a dog." Marcus stepped forward, his voice carrying the weight of truth. "Just a dog? This dog has saved entire squads." He sniffed out bombs, dragged wounded soldiers to safety, and stood in the line of fire without hesitation. "He's a war hero. And you're a coward picking on a man walking his dog." The words struck harder than any punch. The bikers shifted uneasily, their earlier confidence crumbling under the eyes of the growing crowd. Cameras flashed, people shouted for the bikers to back off. But the lead biker, humiliated, tried one last time. He lunged forward, hand raised toward Marcus. Before anyone could blink, Duke launched up, barking with a roar that shook the air. He didn't bite, his training kept him controlled, but he pinned the biker back with such force the man stumbled and fell onto the pavement. The crowd erupted, cheering for Duke. The other bikers, now pale and shaken, quickly backed away, engines roaring as they scrambled to flee. Their tough guy act had been destroyed, not by fists, but by a veteran and his loyal dog. The fallen biker scrambled to his bike, his pride bruised more than his body. He glared at Marcus, but the fear in his eyes betrayed him. He sped off with the rest, leaving only the echo of engines and the cheers of the crowd. Marcus placed a steady hand on Duke's back. "Good boy," he whispered. Duke's tail wagged slightly, but his eyes stayed sharp, still scanning for danger. A soldier, always on duty. The people who had watched came forward, clapping Marcus on the shoulder, petting Duke, praising their courage. A young boy tugged at his mother's sleeve, pointing, "Mom, that dog's a hero." Marcus smiled faintly. "Yes, he is." Later that night, the videos hit social media. Millions watched the confrontation unfold. Comments poured in, not just about the ugliness of the bikers' actions, but about the strength, patience, and dignity Marcus showed, and the incredible discipline of Duke. People wrote about their own struggles with prejudice, about their respect for veterans, and about the unbreakable bond between soldiers and their service dogs. Some even admitted they had tears in their eyes watching Duke protect his master with such loyalty. But the most powerful message came from Marcus himself. In a short interview, he said, "I didn't fight overseas to come home and fight my own people. I fought for freedom, for dignity, for respect. My dog, Duke, fought for it too. And together, we'll keep standing for what's right. Hate has no place in the land we bled for." Those words echoed across the country. The story wasn't just about a group of bikers trying to intimidate a man. It was about resilience, about courage, and about how sometimes the greatest heroes don't walk on two legs. As the sun set on that small town the next day, Marcus walked Duke again. This time, there were no bikers, no shouts, no threats, just nods of respect, waves from neighbors, and children running up to pet the dog who had become a symbol of loyalty and bravery. And as Duke trotted proudly beside his master, tail wagging, the world was reminded of one simple truth. Real strength isn't in hate or intimidation. Real strength is in loyalty, love, and the courage to stand tall in the face of injustice.